Alice Robinson is one of our best medal hopes at the Winter Olympics. The downhill skier has her first race tonight, but her journey to this year's event has been years in the making, of course, as it always is. But there's a special little trick this time round. Here to tell us about what's being done to give her a competitive edge is Simon Briscoe, High Performance Sport New Zealand Head of Innovation. Good morning, Simon. Good to have you at the studio.
Morning. Good to be here.
So what are we talking about here? A wind tunnel, and not Wellington, but an actual lab-grown wind tunnel. What are we talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. So for this project, we had Alice, Corey and Adam in a wind tunnel at Auckland Uni here. That's a facility that we use quite often. And we're able to lean on some of the expertise that we have as well with some of the other sports, namely cycling in this case, to have a look at the aerodynamics of different positions for Alice.
We're just looking at some of the footage now, I think.
Yep.
So what exactly does it do? What does it tell you that you can't learn from going down the slopes?
So you can see Adam there on top of a force balance. So in essence, we can blow air past them in a very controlled manner and measure, very precisely what the drag numbers are. So in this particular project, we were looking at slight tweaks in position and looking for the differences that we can get that Alice can get in reduced drag as she's...
Right, so literally how low you're sitting into the skis, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and little tweaks like, shifting shoulders down or up and what that makes to the difference in the drag.
Is that something that up until now an athlete would have just naturally kind of felt and manoeuvred themselves and try and got the speed that way?
Yeah, but it's really hard to actually understand that without this information. So yeah, it kind of gives us a little peek behind the curtains that you can't really get at from. Yeah, there's no way you can measure that when you're on the ice.
No, other than just kind of in your brain, I guess. Doing
Yes.
your own little calcs,
yes,
as athletes do. So how quick or how much of an advantage do you think? Do you know how much time you can shave off a run?
Well, it's really hard to estimate that. Because there's obviously her performance is hugely multifaceted. All we did here really was look at specifics. So we broke her a typical run down into sort of 3 positions, and then we looked at tweaks around each of those 3 positions.
Simon, are we as good at the technology stuff as the Americans, the Canadians, especially when it comes to winter events? Or are we lagging?
I certainly think that we, as a lot of sports, we kind of punch above our weight on that front. We don't have heaps of resource, but we've got enough that we can do what we need to, and look at the things that are going to make a difference. And
who's the scientist doing the work? Who do they work for, and who's funding them? Is it all from High Performance Sport New Zealand?
This project, was supported, from the funding from High Performance Sport. We used the tunnel at Auckland Uni, and we brought in some technical help on the aerodynamics front from one of the Cycling NZ employees. Yeah.
And is it just a big fan?
in essence, yeah, wind tunnel, like the clue's in the title, right?
So what do you go to the warehouse and get 10 big ones, or what do you have to actually build one?
No, it's like a warehouse basically at Auckland Uni that is it's a big loop. It's what they call a recirculating wind tunnel, so that you have the fans on one side and it gets turned around and the air's smoothed and squeezed, and then it goes past the athlete or whatever you're measuring at the time.
Goodness me, how do you think Alice is going to go tonight?
Well, hopefully glamour. She's looking good, huh?
She is looking good, which will be some welcome relief after last time, right? I appreciate your time this morning, Simon. Thanks so much for coming in. Simon Briscoe, High Performance Sport New Zealand, talking us through the wind tunnel.